Hey, Spuddies, Potato McWhiskey here, and welcome to Thrive Heavy Lies the Crown. Thrive is a single-player and multiplayer city-building game with some kind of tough moral choices and story built into the game, which I find quite interesting. The game is in closed beta from November 29th to December 18th, and you can play with up to 4 people in multiplayer. The game is very much so in a proper beta, and this video was sponsored. Thank you so much to Playsight and Zoogaloo Entertainment, not entirely sure how to pronounce that. If watching this video gets you interested in it, go ahead and click the link in the description. There'll be a link in the pinned comment as well, and you can go ahead and check out the game on Steam. Now, if you know me, I normally don't take that many sponsorships. I only ever take sponsorships if I think a game is pretty good already, because that's the golden goose. I play a game that I already like, and get paid to do it. But let me tell you, Thrive Heavy Lies the Crown has a lot of really interesting things going on. First of all, this is the continent, province, area of Nysamor. I'm not entirely sure exactly how to pronounce this or to explain it, but basically our people had some sort of problem and now we have emigrated to this land and we are setting up a new society. Now, and you can do this with up to 4 other people. Now, I'm going to go ahead and start here in Maladenu, and you get to know some various properties of the area. I think a lot of this is sort of, I don't want to say placeholder, but it's not yet entirely finished for the main game when it comes out of beta. The game is super early. I don't know, is it super early? It's still a work in progress. There's a lot in place and there's a lot of really cool stuff going on in the game, but I don't think it's ready for release, but it is ready to have a look at because there are some really interesting things going on in this game. And I've also had a lot of fun sort of doing the town planning aspect of things, which we're going to be getting into here in a moment. Now, it's been 2 months since the fall of Aldamor. Nysamor is the future. It is a land free from the terrors of the past. And ultimately, the question is, where do my interests lie? Now, speaking personally, I would make the decision to rise with vigilance, to keep an eye on things, to make sure we stay safe. Now, I don't need the tutorial because I have actually played the game a decent amount. And one of the really cool things about this game is, you see the starting wagon? We can just walk it over to one of these other places if we wanted to. But we are going to start here because this is a rather large area that we can do a lot of interesting stuff in. So let me find a nice clear area with no resources in it that I can start a little town. Yeah, I think I'll place my keep somewhere over here. So let's unpause the game and we'll move our little caravan over here and we can begin the process of actually creating a town in Thrive. So first things first, we deploy our little caravan and then we can choose between a keep and a trade hut. Trader huts are for when you claim other territories down the line. I think you might also be able to make keeps later. I haven't gotten to that point in the game, but we're going to plonk a little keep right here. And this is going to be the sort of main homestead for our people, where we're going to be building up our progress. We're also going to go ahead and get ourselves a primitive stockpile once this keep is actually completed. And my people are actually working on it. They're getting it up to about 50% completed. Now, there's an important mechanic in this game. This is called I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce it, but I'm going to assume that it's like Veilgrim or Whalegrim. Basically, the more stuff we build, the more stuff we do, the more we anger something the game has not yet explained to me. Something I don't personally understand, but something happens. There are like events and things that can happen as you continue. So I'm going to go ahead and place my stockpile here, and I will explain a little bit about this nice little town layout that I have decided upon. So I like to have a 2-wide path running down the center of my town like this, because it just makes it look like a boulevard that leads to the keep. Everyone kind of lives, in the shadow of the keep. And let's go ahead and start building houses, because the 2 main things we need to do right now is to get our hands on some stone and wood by placing these gatherer flags and to build a few houses. The reason we want to build houses is to try and improve the happiness of our people. If your population is really unhappy, they get a little torchy, like a little burn down your extremely wooden castle torchy. Probably a good idea to keep them happy. In fact, there's no probably about it. It is just a good idea to keep your people happy. So we've placed down this thing here. This is a logger camp. Basically, it'll collect resources from the nearby area. I'm going to go ahead and shrink it down so they focus on the nearby trees, just effectively reducing how far they walk. And I'm going to do the same to here until there's about 4 rocks inside, just so there's optimizing how much walking we're doing, and we're also clearing out resources near our town. And we can move these around as time goes on. So basically, workers will be employed by these camps, right? And then they will go out and collect resources from like stone or wood and then drop it into the stockpile. The workers from the stockpile will take the resources that go in here to these farmer houses, these building blueprints. And then when they are full, builders will be assigned to it, and then the builders will come out and work on it. And we can choose the order in which that is done by managing our jobs menu here. So for example, if I want people to always be logging or always be quarrying, wait a minute, can I? Oh, I want to. There needs to be at least 6 stones in here to get maximum harvest. Well, I tell you what then, I'll put this harvester cap a little further down. I've gone and placed myself another 8 houses because how many houses you have dictates how many people will come and make friends at your settlement and join you. How desirous it is to live here, basically. I'm going to go ahead and place a well, ideally 2 wells to cover the town, A, for water, and B, also for fires. The well is an important firefighting structure. And by having 2 wells that overlap, you can see here they have like an influence zone. Any buildings inside this blue area will be supplied with water, but also supplied with firefighters. So there is a more advanced firefighting building here, the firehouse, but that requires pretty advanced resources for us to build. So focusing on the more primitive, more basic stuff right now. And our goal is to get more workers, because right now we only have 20 people. We're going to want to employ more people as time goes on. Now, the important thing about the stockpile, this primitive stockpile here, it doesn't just distribute things to construction sites, it also distributes things to the buildings inside. So if these guys are demanding, for example, firewood, this is the building that will give it to them. And this guy will in fact demand firewood pretty soon. So it's probably a good idea once I start getting a few more workers to get that need for firewood met. Now I will also need to build wells and also granaries. Those are going to be soon TM things that I will be doing. Okay, let's place another 3 farmer houses on each side, because we gather resources extremely quickly, so we can pretty quickly expand this. And then we're going to go ahead and get started with food stores. Now the cool thing about food stores is it not only does it distribute food, but it's also where food is deposited by farmers. And farmers we will need in the near future. Because if we are to feed the hungry, to improve the lot of the people of this town, we are going to need some farms. The really interesting thing about this game is every house needs to have a certain amount of things in it, right? You need the white influence area is stockpiles that can actually build this building. And then the blue influence area is water that will keep the building from being on fire and also fulfilling one of its needs, right? The water need. And then the green influence area, which is the food store, is what will feed the building. And you have to kind of build this overlapping lattice of, you know, things, and then you also have to build production chains, and then you have to expand to other areas to get access to new, perhaps different resources. You can see here, this zone, Maladenu, has apples, what looks like flowers, hemp, and something else. But this one over here has like clay, stone, iron, and coal. Here we go. So we got the settling in event, which means we're going to be determining where the focus of our efforts are for the start of this kingdom. There is a little bit of back and forth between these advisors. I'm not going to worry about reading this to you. You can go ahead and pause the video and read this. So I will be going for safety first above all else. And depending on the option that you click on, they will have a back and forth again. These guys will, lodge their objections, but I'm going to go ahead and agree with Sir Hayward anyway. And we get 10 wooden fence X6s. I don't know what these are, but I'm certain I will find out. I believe they belong in the military area. Now you need to have 60 farmers to unlock these. That's fine. We are going to go ahead and build ourselves another primitive stockpile here, and that is to cover this other side of the town. Goods are distributed from the primitive stockpile, so it's a good idea to have them kind of sharing the workload and overlapping with a variety of different places. I'm also going to build another pair of primitive stockpiles over here, and the idea here is that the more primitive stockpiles I have, the less likely I am to not be able to fulfill a need of my people. And also they extend my construction influence area. All right, I'm going to go ahead and build the wood chopper over here next to my keep. And this will produce the incredibly important firewood resource that will be used to improve the quality of life of my people. And that should lead us to having more people being willing to move into the town. Each house right now is only housing a single person. You can get that up if you feed them firewood as well as apples. And then also clothing and cider. That will make them very, very happy. We can provide them with all of those. Got to check in on my logger camp. Looks like we ran out of trees to chop. So I'm going to go ahead and refill that. The stonecutter camp is also dipping a little bit lower. So we'll go ahead and make that a little bit wider. Refill it up. Now, the food store is in range. However, I think the important thing now is to make the wood chopper, which is fulfilling the need of my people, and the logger camp be slightly higher priority. And as wood is chopped and distributed into my stockpiles and then distributed to my people, the happiness of my people will increase slowly. All right, let's get our first apple orchard in here as well, so people will start to get apples. And we did just cause our very first Whalegrim surge by building the town out to a certain size, which should be a little bit scary, but it is fine. We should start to see more people be willing to move into houses as more needs are fulfilled. And this is why I want to start getting apples. If we have unemployed people, we want to start producing more of the goods that will make them happier. And I like to build nice long strips of land like this. Excellent. So we're starting to get firewood distributed to all these houses. These ones don't have a granary over here. That's fine. I'm kind of curious to see if we're going to get apples distributed to some of these soon. We do have unemployed people, so we can continue to expand our apple orchards. Oh, it looks like we have found event 2, the Vagabond. So a young man has come to my town. However, I am security minded. I'm sorry, child, but you must look elsewhere. We have been plagued too hard and have come too far to allow a young boy joining our settlement to put us in jeopardy. I'm afraid the people of this town have entrusted me to protect them, and I take that job very, very seriously. The good news is my town is hustling and bustling, and we are getting a bunch of new people in. We have just a little bit of unemployment, so we can start to think about making flax fields. And part of that will be building and encouraging immigration. You can see my town starting to take shape. We've got like different districts. We've got a little bit of burning. Let's make sure we build those wells. We want as much overlap between the wells as possible so that they will collaborate when it comes to fighting fires. Now I also want a primitive stockpile right here. Yeah, right there and there, because I like to have a lot of stockpiles. It means I can store a lot of goods. It means I never have too few, people running around getting and picking up stuff. It makes me feel good to have a lot of workers. Now, we want to get some hemp farms. We got the Whalegrim surge. For the next 5 days, diseases will have a 50% chance of spreading. Now, this is a hemp farm. We would like to be working this. However, I think we do have to wait a little bit until we have more population. Speaking of more population, I think the best way to get more population is to build more houses, particularly houses for people who will be happier. Now, this is an outrageously large settlement. It's completely unnecessary to build things this large. However, this is kind of like how I like to do things. I like to be large. I like to be in charge, and I like to have fun with it, Something else we can do while we're working on this is we can deploy this and say, hey, we'd like to set up another trading wing. So I'm going to say, bring me 100 wood and 100 stone, and that'll just kickstart the process of potentially creating another trading zone. It's not quite what we want to be doing just yet. We would like to be able to get up to laborer stuff because we want to build the trader's hut, but that'll take a little bit of time, right? First, we need to be making planks. We also need to be making rope. We aren't even producing clothing yet for our people, so that needs to be done first. We'll need at least one outfitter. So I'm going to go ahead and place him right now in this nice area here. He's really close to a stockpile, and they will be able to produce over here. The flax fields are starting to be planted. New houses are being built. The population is booming. And when I say booming, I mean booming. We have 5 unemployed. Now, it's good to have a reasonable number of unemployed people running around. It means you have spare pop. It also means you can expand the production of your resources. Now, we have a lot of food production, but it takes a while to produce flax. So I think I'm going to go ahead. What's the unemployment looking like right now? We've got 24 unemployeds. So I'm going to go ahead and add some more orchards. Looks like we got ourselves another Whalegrim surge, which is not ideal. Looks like nothing bad actually happened that time, which I'm quite happy about. But we're going to go ahead and get started on another hemp field. It's important for us to grow these resources that we need. We are slowly starting to produce clothing, and our population should explode in theory after we finish producing all those clothing. I'm going to pop down a pair of cider makers here now, which will use a combination of apples and water to produce cider for my people. I'm not entirely sure how you make cider, but I don't think you just mix apple and water. I'm not going to question the game's logic, however. All right, who has any housing people with needs fulfilled for housing? No, I can't quite tell. Looks like a lot of my houses now are getting the apple need fulfilled. So we should start to see the population skyrocketing as these things are getting built. We just need to get more hemp coming in, which honestly just really requires us to build more things. Ooh, the Whalegrim Whispers. Okay. Unsettling reports of gutted animals, makeshift altars, and strange crystals. I would like to know more. In particular, I want to know more about these strange crystals. I'm quite curious about those. That is the choice that I have made. Go ahead and pause it if you want to read the dialogue. That is my recommendation. And I wonder, is there corruption in this province now? Let's have a look. Yes, Whalegrim crystals have appeared. So if I zoom in, there should be like some dark purpley angry things somewhere. I don't see them, but rest assured, they are there somewhere. I can't find them right now. They are the angry crystals. Whatever it is, The thing that I do not yet know, it is mad, and it's letting us know a dark and mysterious force descends upon the town. So we are quite happily now producing cider. Eventually we will want to make beer, but the cider is nice. It's just water and apples combined. We'll slowly produce cider, which will eventually make these guys a lot happier. You can see now that we've fulfilled the need for clothing, up to 3 people will live in this house, which is nice. And if we can fulfill the need for cider, it'll be up to 4, which basically means we can take this many workers and multiply them by a certain amount. Potentially down the line, we could turn them into military. I am curious about the potential for like encasing my town in wooden fences. Let's see. So we can build caravans. And we can do what else? We can't quite build the armory or the barracks yet. We do need to go up to a higher tier of worker, which is what we're going to be working on next. In fact, you could go as far as to say that the next tier of worker was in fact our goal all along. Now, something we're going to need before we go to the next type of tier of worker is a lumberyard, which will convert wood into other resources, particularly planks. So we're going to go ahead and plonk that down right there. It'll get constructed and we'll start to produce planks for us, which is the next tier up in resource. We will be able to start inviting laborers to our town. Oh no, the stockpile is burning. Thankfully, we do have a decent number of wells in our town, so it should get put out pretty quick. Got a pretty good fire coverage. I'm pretty happy with the level of coverage we have, yeah. I'm just glad / hopeful that wells can't go on fire, but we should see, we'll see a lot more fires now the larger our town is. But our well coverage being like on point means we should be fine. Ooh, a couple of these stockpiles aren't actually covered by a well, so I'm glad that I checked that. Yeah, we should start producing planks now, which will allow us to invite the next tier of person into our town. And I think we've got more than enough farmer houses, so let's go ahead and start building the good old friendly laborer. Now, laborers will need a tavern, so let's go ahead and start inviting laborers. Don't forget to give them a food store. We'll start building the laborer section of town down here. The good news is I have so much population now that I can start to destroy houses. Because I've fulfilled their luxury needs, every house holds 4 people, whereas before I needed one house to hold 1 person, right? So, which means I can start to demolish some houses and rebuild a slightly more efficient town layout, right? Like I can start to get rid of some of these and upgrade them into, for example, laborer houses. Now, laborers need food, they need water. I'm not sure what this is, but whatever it is, they need it and have it. They need a tavern and they need firewood. They also need clothing and beer and a whole bunch of other things, which is truly fascinating. Our first laborers have arrived. One of the very first things we're going to want to build are some craftsmen. Now, we're not making enough hemp, so let's go ahead and plonk down a few more hemp fields, because gosh darn it, do I need hemp. Now, I have upset the Whalegrim. All hail the Whalegrim. Whalegrim rises. But hopefully increasing this number of flax fields will get us a surplus of hemp. A lot of our hemp is being used, for example, in these outfitters to get enough clothing for people. Alrighty, let's go ahead and build a craftsman over here. The craftsman is the first of the laborer production buildings. It can produce rope. I don't think I need to tell you, rope is a very useful resource. And laborers actually have their own different tier of employment. You can see one of them is working in the tavern, which is providing them with that little bit of happiness, which is just enough to get me a few more laborers living in these houses. Now, in order to unlock the laborer's next need, I will need a certain number of extra laborers. So I'm going to try to get up to about 20. Chancellor Declan brings you news of a promising development at the outfitters. Now, I'm going to go ahead and go with trying to innovate here. I'm going to accept his suggestion and move ahead with a new type of stitching that will increase outfitter production by 5%, which is nice, right? 5% production? That's pretty good. That means 1 in 20, you get extra. I would call that a good deal. So inside the craftsman, we're going to be producing rope from hemp, which means we're going to be using more and more hemp, which is why we need these more and more flax fields, right? People are going to be producing, working on them. And the nice thing, it seems like we aren't making enough apples. I'm going to pack my caravan up and move it over here. Oh, wait, what happened to the wood chopper? Did the wood chopper burn down? I think my wood chopper burnt down, which is not good. So I need another one. I forgot to build it near the the stuff that prevents fires. I'm going to put another apple orchard right there, and I'll do the same there. Trying to make sure that we have enough food for the people. Even if it annoys the Whalegrim, it is sometimes a necessary thing to do. I'm quite enjoying this town, right? It's like it kind of has a sense of regularity, but also a sense of evolution, right? As this piece over here becomes its own thing. We got another event. Strange crystals have started to grow through our settlement. And this stranger does not seem to be harmed by them. So we need to find out what the heck. Apparently we can make some sort of crystal stockpile. Interesting. Well, I'm not really sure how that works or what that is. We're dealing with a little bit of fire over here. That's fine. Not a big deal. So one thing that we want to build is this trader's hut. This is an important milestone building because it is what's going to allow us to trade with not only, neutral traders, but also to move resources between our towns, which is an important thing, it turns out. And I believe traders will come from the road over here. Yeah, they kind of follow the roads. I do wish the roads were marked on the map. The map is probably not finished, so I don't expect too much. Oh wait, did I see the crystal? There it is. Creepy crystals. I don't know what we can do with them yet, but you know, there are things you can do with them. The game suggests that you can gather them, and you wouldn't be able to gather something if you couldn't do something with it. That, to me, just seems logical. Oh, we can finally build a forester. Now, this is going to give us a consistent supply of wood, which is truly excellent. So we could set up like a little forester area, rather than having to rely on this quarrier camp. We can also start to produce stables. Ooh, pork ranks. You can make pork. I like the idea of the forester's hut. I think I'm gonna make this area over here like a little forestry area. So I think the thing to do is to build a little pathway around my hemp fields, enclose them, build a primitive stockpile out here with a forester's hut, and then presumably also a water thing to keep things from burning down. No, we'll experiment with this depending on how things work. But I think it's more interesting to track planks now rather than regular wood, and rope rather than hemp. We're up to a higher tier of resource, which is kind of exciting. Now, I don't exactly know how the trader's hut works, but as far as I understand it, it's fairly simple. It's fairly not basic, but straightforward in how you would expect. You have don't trade, you have maintain a level, you have sell when above and buy when below, which basically says like if we're overproducing wood, sell this much. If we're underproducing wood, da-da-da-da-da. So for example, let's have a look. What am I overproducing right now? You know, let's take, for example, some sort of, here we go, clothing. Let's say it would be good to keep about 300 clothing and the minimum stock is 100. I don't know what exactly that means, but basically try to have 300 clothing. So if we have too much, they might sell some off. They might buy some. And I think that's roughly how the trader works. I don't know, there's like some experimentation I haven't gotten to here. Now, let's see if we can figure out how the hell trade works. So I'm gonna grab this bad boy, deploy it. Oh, I need to go near a stockpile. Sorry. Let's go near this new stockpile to the south. I'll send him down there. So how does this forester hut work? What if I change your range to this? So it looks like they just plant and cut trees, which is good. Yeah, they're just producing trees for me, which is awesome. Let's go ahead and move our stone quarry over to there. All right, we're going to go ahead and plonk you down. Okay, I need a little bit more space to deploy. Plonk you down right here. We want to load up. How do I accidentally just demolished my caravan. Oops. Let's make another caravan. Maybe this one will go easier. Maybe this one will be kind to me. Oh, hey, I found a trader. So we've got a guy over here. This is my inventory. Oh, looks like logs are worth something. Hemp isn't worth anything. Rope isn't worth much. Apples are worth a decent amount, strangely enough. Oh, but he doesn't have that much money. I imagine this trading system will, like, you know, need a little bit more work, but so far it's looking okay. It does the job that you're expecting. Okay, so I am loading this new caravan that I built up to be a trader's hut, as my objective is to go settle the town of Odros, and in theory, start getting things like fishing docks online, as well as a variety of other things. Yeah, we're just waiting for the wood to get stored in here. Okay, caravan is loaded. Let's go ahead and bring it on over to the next town and see what we can set up. I guess somewhere central right here is fine. Let's go ahead and deploy you. Go ahead and make me a trader's hut. I guess the location isn't that important, but we'll let you go ahead and build that. I guess we'll also need a primitive stockpile to go with that trader's hut. Oh, but I have to wait till that's finished because it's not technically in my territory yet. Alrighty, Odros is now officially mine. Ooh, it looks like there's some bad guys on the map. What are these guys? What are you? A small village. Hold on. Alignment, neutral. Allied with no one. Deliver us 120 hemp. I can give them gold. I can send troops. Oh, you can interact with these. Well, this is a part of the game I hadn't yet discovered. That's fascinating. Cool. Declare war, trade. Okay, so there'll be a whole like set of neutral things. All right, this is something I hadn't figured out. This is like some kind of weird, this is like the if you take over the city, you win, I think, or something. I haven't quite figured out how the game works, like in the metagame stuff. It's a really nice city. Also, there's a man on the roof. I found this and it made me laugh. There's a man on that roof down there. I don't know if you can like zoom in and just look. There's a farmer on the roof. Listen, this is how you know a game is kind of like a little, you know, it's in beta. It's a closed beta. So we're gonna build a little stockpile here, put a little road between these two buildings. So I don't know how to do trade between provinces, but like, see, you can't produce apples in here, so we need to import apples. And so if I go to my other town, they actually do produce apples. So I would like to come here and I want you to import 200 apples. And I want you to sell apples When you're above 300, it's fine. So how do I actually make that trade route work? That is my question. Do I use a caravan for that? I think a caravan, I create my own caravan or something, right? Yeah, let's go ahead and start to extract basic wood and basic stone here, so we actually have something in the stockpile of this place. But yes, we can create a fishing dock here, which was the goal. Let's place a granary. We also need to make the people a little happier, because right now they are mad as heck. So we're going to try and improve the mood here. Let's put a well here. We'll make a few basic farmer houses. Doesn't look like we're making enough firewood anymore, so I'm going to go ahead and add another wood chopper, and then I'll add another forester. There is something like really satisfying about this game though. There's kind of a yearning to learn more. Like, where do you grow wheat? Oh, you can grow wheat over here. Oh man, if I get over to Staphras, oh, Sudanu I can make wheat. So I would need to take over Sudanu and Odros to fully develop Maladenu converts. Okay, so we've got access to some new building. Let's explore these new possibilities. Right, we have the tavern, we have the craftsman, the cookhouse. I'm curious about the cookhouse. Let's build one of those. It's made from planks, hemp, stone, and gold. Let's have a look. So we get a decent amount of gold from our farmers, a little bit from our laborers, none from trade apparently. Oh wait! I found the trade button. I found the trade route. I want you to send food and clothing to the new town. Use this caravan. Accept. This will be supply, accept trade. Oh, it's happening! I managed to figure it out. I figured it out by clicking on the menus. We did it. So now you, all right, we're gonna watch this. He's on a secret mission for me. I wish, is there a way can I double click him and follow him? No, I'll do it old style. This was one of my favorite things to do as a kid when I would be playing these kind of games. Is like I would sit and I would watch the trade unit. They're like, he's going off to trade for me. So we made the cookhouse. No, not quite, but it's in construction. Wait, where'd my trader go? There you go. He's going a weird way. Which way are you going? All right, he's going all the way up here. All right. Okay, he's coming in from this side. I personally wouldn't have gone that route considering the trading post is here and you're going to here. But if you want to go this way, that's a vibe. I'm down with it. Kind of, not really, but it's fine that that's what you chose to do. Caravan of supply. I really like this whole automated trading system. That's cool. That's the kind of thing that would get me in this game. Oh, a tome of knowledge. Wait, you can tech up. I didn't even know this was in the game. What the heck? Oh my goodness. We need to learn how to make paper. How do you make paper? The vault collects his taxes. Iron ingots. Oh, I need iron ingots. God damn it. Blacksmith. My trader. He arrived. He did it. Did he? I assume he picked things up. Why is he going this way? Why is he going the long way, dude? Oh my god. Why would you go this way? Let's build some more laborer houses. I have like so many planks in storage that it's just like totally reasonable to do this. I want to know more about laborers and what potential things we can build with them. Did he make it? Oh, there he is. He went an even weirder route this time. Oh, is he going in a circle? Is that like why and where and how he's doing things? Because look, he could go right up here. He could just go ba-bam, ba-bam instead of this whole weird thing. So he's going to arrive. He's heading here. He deposited clothing. He deposited apples. Let's make it so that the food store is more important and thus apples get distributed, giving us more housing. I hope. It seems like I can't actually be like, hey, I want you to pick up exactly this many resources and he will just now forever transport, which isn't exactly how I would like my trade routes to work. But in theory, we should now also be able to pick up iron and send it back. My farmers are getting happier. Hopefully we'll get some migration. Can I tell him to like bring people? Oh, I can. Like, hey, deposit those migrants over there. I'm gonna tell you to bring firewood, like 100 at a time. I wish I could tell what he had. Oh, I can. Oh, then he should bring 200 of each thing then, I guess. I don't know. Why are these houses not being built? I don't understand. The envoy. An envoy has arrived from a kingdom called Wurmaxa, proclaims as rulers of all Nissamor. The Wurmaxans proclaim that as outsiders, we must pay 10% of our earning to them. So this is where I can start to get into conflict. I'm going to postpone the tithe. Interesting. Oh yeah, this trade route should totally import cider as well. That's an important good. No, give me the whole 200. Perfect, so we're importing all the goods that we need to keep our people happy here. We should be able to send back, in theory, iron ore when someone starts actually working. Oh, we're now producing iron ore. Hey, we can send, now we can send iron ore to the capital. And I want you, yes, send that iron ore. Send it. What else can be produced here? Looks like coal? There must be some sort of later game building that can do that. I want to build a barracks just for memes. So how does a barracks work? I'm just gonna plonk it down somewhere right there. Don't care. Also curious, what happens if I build wooden fences? Like, what if I was like, I must protect my farmland? I should build it like this. Interesting. So this is an all-way wooden fence. So what if I, this is neat. What stockpile could you possibly need access to? You're a wall. Do I really need to have a stockpile? That's baffling. It's kind of cool though. I like the way the walls look. It's really awesome. So wait, how does the barracks work? What are we doing here? Okay, they're still building it. Never mind. Don't look at the barracks. Yeah, right. So what does it take to build these fences? If these are being gifted, does it just take time? Man, I could have built a cool as heck defensive fortification around my place. The keep. That would have been sick. I could have built like layers of walls to the town, you know what I'm saying? Bruh, what are you doing? How could you possibly need road access? You're a gosh darn wall. What do you mean? Requires 40 laborers, wooden gate, proper wood walls. Hold on, I need to get more laborers so that I can experiment with this. How many unemployed? Okay, we have a few. I wish to build laborer houses. Oh, that means I need water. All right, let's get the little water over here. Badoosh, badoosh. We're gonna need another granary, and then they're gonna need their own houses. Okay, so what can I do in the barracks? I can make swordsman, spearman, storage, light military rations. I have no idea how to produce those. Cookhouse, where's my cookhouse? Oh, making laborer meals costs sausages and apples. And I need to make them furniture. Okay, what if you made light military rations? Oh, I need pork. I need to be porking. I need to be porking away like a porker. All right, let's get a pork house. Right? Oh, the Whalegrim surge. Whalegrim's mad. Pourquoi? This guy's still stuck over here. Okay. I mean, it's a beta, right? There's gonna be some wonkiness. That's life. There's always gonna be a little wonky wonk. You know what I'm saying? That's just how video games are when they're in production. This is a game in production, which you can check out if you go to the link in the description of this here video. You can check out this game and play with your friends in multiplayer, conquer towns, do all sorts of crazy stuff. Most importantly, you will have fun if you like city builders. Because I'm having a lot of fun figuring out this game. There's a lot of potential here for this game. That's what I gotta say. There's a tremendous potential. It's a little undercooked right now because it's beta. I kind of wish I'd set up some wheat fields because it's, you know, closed beta, so on and so forth. But there's, you know, a little more cooking. Baby, we got a stew going. They've been caught stealing from the food market. They no longer receive rations for their elderly parents. An act of desperation can be forgiven, but only once. Very well. Nice, this is pretty cool. I was lenient. It's like, listen, hey. Oh, wait, what's this? Plus 10 happiness. Oh man, the Whalegrim crystals are getting bad. They're spreading. We need to deal with this. We need to figure out how to get rid of this stuff. It's gonna collapse my goddamn society. Okay, so we do have iron ore over here. So what can I do with iron ore? Let's have a look. Right, we can make pigs. How do we make pigs? Pigs require wheat. So I would need to set up a thing over here into Sudanoo. And to produce wheat here, then also produce pork and impork. Do you get to impork? I gotta import the pork. It's gotta import it. I guess I could in theory import the wheat over to here. Oh man, it's so cool. Okay, so I can't make pork. And I assume I need to make weapons. Man, there's a whole like construction chain here. I can't make armories because I don't have metal. How do I make metal? There we go. I can make iron ingots now. Get to it. Oh yeah, and I wanted to try out the wall. How do you make... I want to have a look at these wood walls, man. Oh, people can get up on these. Look at those. Wait, I need to like build like a little fortification around my castle. Hold on. We gotta have like corner walls. Yeah, there's ladders that they can get up on, man. Dude, this game just got upgraded a tier. God damn it, I built the gate backward. I'm now downgrading the game a tier. Oh, dude. If nothing else, this is sick as hell just for like the... I'm building a town vibe, you know what I'm saying? How did you mess this up? Dude, now that is sick. I can imagine soldiers going up on here. There's like a little bit of pathing. There's like a little bit of pathing stuff that needs to be worked out. Some of my people are starting to get disease. You know what? It's all going to hell. It's all going to hell. But there's a lot of potential here. I want to thank you guys very much for watching. Go ahead and check out the game in the description. Go link, click, be a link clicker. I love you all very much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.